last week was the 30-year anniversary of the Austin 316 promo. 30 years. Andy, Stone Cold Steve Austin made his mark at the King of the Ring after beating Jake Roberts and after getting his lip busted open by Mark Marrow. But it wouldn't be until later in the year until where he would really catch fire when he feuded with Bret Hart, and then the rest, as they say, is history for Stone Cold Steve Austin. So this was a discussion that was had on Busted Open on, I think it was Tuesday was the anniversary. Might have been Wednesday. But they sort of had this discussion, and I wanted to bring it to you because I think it's an interesting discussion to have. We're not going to sit and reminisce about this specific promo because we all know what it led to. We all know what he said, blah, 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 blah. If you missed it, just YouTube it. You'll find it. Okay. But this has been heralded as a landscape altering moment in WWE history. Now we know recently, Andy, that shaking the foundation and landscape altering has been used in places where it shouldn't be used in the WWE. So tonight, this discussion, let's define what a landscape altering, foundation shaking moment actually is. Now, if we find the words, great, but let's pick out moments that truly are landscape altering. And I'll tell you what, Andy, I'll start this by saying I can only think of two moments in the history of professional wrestling that are landscape altering, and the Austin 316 promo is not one of them.
I guess it depends on how you define it.
Well, let's define
in a lot of ways, but
what I think,
if we're talking about like the business was never the same after this moment.
After the moment,
I think. I mean, the biggest one, the obvious one, is the Hogan heel turn.
Yes, of course.
Like that is probably 1-1. Wow, it's funny. We talked about Cena's heel turn being up there and what it led to and turned out to be.
The moment itself was pretty awesome.
The moment itself, but what followed afterwards was less than.
Let's not even compare the two.
Yeah, so that's like the top one I think of.
Yep.
Like to me, the Shield debut literally changed professional wrestling from that point on.
Okay.
Because you literally have three of the biggest wrestlers in the world today. Like it took a while for them to get there, but it all goes back to the Shield. Like it all goes back to their debut. Roman becoming the tribal chief, and Seth Rollins becoming the visionary, and then Jon Moxley becoming the face of another company. So like I think that is a pivotal moment that changed professional wrestling. There's not a lot.
I'll give you one. It's not one of my two, but I'll give you one that I think could be. I don't know that we've even seen the full effect of it yet, but Andy, in the moment when Cody Rhodes jumped ship at WrestleMania 38, and the reason I say Cody Rhodes coming back to WWE from AEW for two reasons. Number one, AEW truly is competition, no matter where WWE wants to admit it or not. So for one of their founding members to come to WWE, that is humongous, because there were small pot shots fired the other way for a little while before that. I know Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson aren't small pot shots, but one of the founders of the other company comes to WWE. That's the biggest grenade across the line. And the second reason is, Andy, look where the business was when Cody got there, and look where it got to.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I still think the jury might be out on that being a landscape altering moment, but it has the makings of being one.
Yeah, and again, like it depends on if we're talking about professional wrestling as a whole or if we're talking about WWE.
Sure.
Because like if we're talking about professional wrestling, then like All In. Like that show is a moment that changed professional wrestling forever. One, because it showed, hey, this ragtag of independence can sell out a show in Chicago. Yep. And two, a thing that people forget is like that's one of the first few times that Chris Jericho ever appeared on an American promotion.
It is the first time. It is the first time.
Like that was the first big name that left WWE to go be a part of that startup. Yep. And then I think like Moxley coming out of the crowd, so I think it's the start of AEW is something that changed professional wrestling. Because you talk about how wrestling has been since the Cody return, I think you can push it back to the start of AEW because it made wrestling is better when there's competition.
Sure.
And WWE got better, AEW progressed, and as now they're both competition. So I think that is a moment. But if we're talking about like in-ring stuff, like the Hogan heel turn, I think you have to put the Austin promo up there just because it led to two of the greatest of all time at the same time, and Austin and Rock. So like I think that has to be a part of it because like there's not like a defining Rock moment to start. It's just you see him progress through the years. Austin 316 is the moment. Like that is the moment for Austin where it launches. You can make the argument.
You can put Montreal.
Yeah, I think you can throw Montreal in there. I think you can make the argument of the pipe bomb, just because it had been so long since you got to that. Like you had that kind of moment, that actually led to something bigger. So I think there are like little moments, but there's not, not every pay-per-view that we have nowadays is a landscape changing moment, whether Triple H likes to say it or not. Right. It's not that pivotal. But like I think those are like the four. To me, it's the Hogan heel turn, it's the Austin promo, it's the Punk promo, and it's the Shield. Like those are the four moments where I can look from that point on. Following, wrestling was completely different.
I'm gonna give you one more, and it's the other one that I haven't said yet. And I can understand why you didn't say it because you weren't even close to being born when this happened. January 1984, Hulk Hogan defeats the Iron Sheik to win his first WWF Championship and the start of Hulkamania.
Yeah.
The closest thing to Hogan's heel turn was the start of Hulkamania.
Yeah.
That moment doesn't happen. Wrestling as we know it is I'm not going to say it's gone, but it is not in the place that it is today unless Hulk Hogan wins that championship. Now, a lot of people will probably argue slamming Andre. Okay, fine. But I don't think this moment doesn't happen. The championship win doesn't happen. The Andre moment doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The championship win doesn't happen. You could argue WrestleMania doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The championship win doesn't happen. The nWo heel turn doesn't mean nearly as much without the start of Hulkamania. So, Andy, I think when you're talking about landscape altering moments, Hulk Hogan has two of them in the history of wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to deny it or go against it. I mean, in the ring, I'm not everybody knows how I feel about Hogan as a professional wrestler, but in that time period, in that era, there was nobody that was on Hulkster's level. And because of the fact that they built him so well and Hulkamania just exploded. And so, I completely agree. I think that is a massive moment. And I think like you can make the argument the first WrestleMania, even though it wasn't as big of a success as they like to say it was, like it took a little while for it to become what it became.
Right.
But that first show of WrestleMania, setting the foundation. So like there are some moments that you can make the argument for, but if they're like definitive moments, there's probably only 4 or 5 of them that I can really think of.